24,394. So tough. These boxes. Got some room in there again for the padding. And that failed. There, Rick. Nice looking boxes there. Kablamo. And let's see if we can get some high gloss Demidov action going here. Wouldn't that be something? First pack, high gloss Demidov. Alright, so the first few cards I'll show you guys nice and slowly. We got a compadres for the Oilers. So that's the Oiler compadres. Our first Young Guns is Abels. The guns part is hard to see, I'm not going to lie. But I like the clarity of the cards. And we've got for Utah, Mammoth of Keller compositions. Is that the first time a card has Mammoth on it? Probably. Alright, we got a Dazzlers for Florida of Barkov. Solid again, as always. We got a canvas of Sanheim for Philly. Again, I will go a little quicker. I'm going to show you guys the style of the first ones, and then we'll go from there. And we've got a goal-oriented of Nathan McKinnon for the Avalanche. Why was it not capitalized on the names? Interesting. We've got an encore Lane Hudson, Montreal. Nice little shine to those. We've got a Marchenko sizzle reel for the Blue Jackets. Sizzle reel. All right. And a Young Guns. Do you remember the Leafs guy? Is it Killian? Quillian? Where is it, Quillian? Young Guns for the Maple Leafs. We've got an encore of Campe for LA, Compadres for Florida, and a Young Guns of Mazur for the Red Wings. Mazur. We've got a sizzle reel of Aho for Carolina. The new portraits, Tage Thompson. I think people are going to have fun with these ones. Tage Thompson. And a whole lot of nada. Canvas of Eichel for Vegas. Young Guns of Camel for the Preds. Young Guns. And we've got a composition of Stutzel for Ottawa. Sounds like Quillen? Okay. Encore of Kucherov for Tampa. That's a blue variant. Encore of Keller for Utah. And these are new. A Tracking Systems Blackwood for the Avs. Bloop, bloop, bloop. We've got a bustle. What's a bustle? A bustle of Sam Reinhart. Eric?
No.
Never heard of the word bustle? I don't know what bustle is either. Lev Shunov, Young Guns. I don't know what a bustle is. For Chicago. And a Cup Quest of Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Actually, I like these ones. For the Oilers. Those are cool. You like the tracking better than Olala's? Yeah, I don't disagree with you on that. We got a Sparkle Sizzle of Jack Hughes, or sorry, Luke Hughes for the Devils. Canvas of Marchenko for the Jackets. And a portrait of Matthews for the Maple Leafs. Move in an energetic or noisy manner. Oh, sounds like me. We've got for the Buffalo Sabres, Outburst of Darlene. We've got a Sizzle of Nyes for the Leafs and a Goal-Oriented of Brat for the Devils. We got a Canvas of Aho for Carolina. We got a Compositions of Ovechkin for the Caps. And a Moore for the Hawks Young Guns. We got an Encore of Troy Terry for the Ducks. A Sizzle of Wyatt Johnston for Dallas. And a Quest Sparkle for the Oilers of Hopkins. Well, cool. I learned a new word today, though. I learned what a bustle is. Isn't it like, wouldn't bustle and hustle then be the same thing almost? What's the definition of hustle, Floor? Wouldn't it be very similar? Of move in an energetic manner? Tracking of Urson for Philly. Young Guns of Currens for Calgary. And a portrait for the Winnipeg Jets of Morrissey. We got a Dazzlers of Jack Hughes for the Devils. We got a Patterson Canvas for Vancouver. And a Compositions of Aho for Carolina. They're interchangeable? Alright. We got an Encore of Konechny for Philly. A Bustle for Ottawa of Kachuk. And a Young Guns for Calgary of Morton. We've got a Sizzle of Forsberg for Montreal. Sorry, for Nashville. Goal-oriented of Eichel for Vegas. And for Montreal, Young Guns, Demidov. Our first one. Get it graded. Demidov, Young Guns. Kablamo! We got one already. Population count 500 for Anaheim of Dostal. We've got a tracking systems of Swayman for Boston and a Cup Quest for the Oilers of Hyman. We got a Compadre Sparkle for Tampa. Canvas of Larkin for the Red Wings. And a Monahan Compositions for the Blue Jackets. We got a Young Guns Canvas for the Ottawa Senators of Sabrango. Canvas, Young Guns, Sabrango. And a Young Guns for the Ottawa Senators, Sabrango. Well, back to back. And we got a Matthew Tkachuk for the Florida Panthers portraits. We got an Encore to Brinkat for the Red Wings, Sizzle of Kyle Connor for the Jets, and a Young Guns of Skarek for the Islanders. What would you name Eric if he was scary? Skarek. Oh, come on. We got a clear-cut base of Chatfield for Carolina. That was a good. That's a good one. Encore of Cooley for Utah. Compadres for the Sharks. We've got a Young Guns Outburst Silver for Carolina of Brandamore. Carolina Young Guns Outburst. We got a tracking systems of Hill for Vegas and a Cup Quest of Carlson for the Penguins. Not this year. We got a canvas of Nason for the Devils, a Young Guns of Gatcombe for the Islanders, and a portrait for the Ottawa Senators of Olmark. Encore of Leonard for Washington, composition Sparkle, Stutzel for Ottawa, and a bustle of Werenski for the Jackets. That silver Young Guns on a silver outburst looks not the best. It's funny, I actually think it looks really good. I actually enjoy the way the outburst silvers look. It is an early one, yes. Because we got lots of cases come. I said me and Eric are gonna try to bang out 3 of these cases, so we'll do them double master after this. We've got a tracking systems of Kemper for LA, Young Guns of Lund for the Sharks, and a portrait of Kadri for Calgary. That one looks a bit crazy. We got a Dazzlers of Nylander for the Leafs, canvas of Caulfield for Montreal, and a compositions for San Jose of Toffoli. Oh, the script. Yeah, that I could see. Encore of Unger for Dallas, Compadres for the Rangers, and a Mazur Young Guns for the Red Wings. We've got a Swagnificent for the Vegas Golden Knights, Hanifin. He does look swagnificent, doesn't he? Hanifin. We've got a Sizzle of McDavid for the Oilers and a Cup Quest of Bedard for Chicago. We've got a tracking systems of Demko Vancouver, Young Guns of Parek for Calgary, and a goal-oriented of Austin Matthews for the Maple Leafs. Canvas of Laine for the Montreal Canadiens, Eklund portraits for the Sharks, and a Demidov and Levshunov dual Young Gun. So if we get 2 of those, obviously you don't need to random one. We got an Encore Blue of Zibanejad for the Rangers, Encore Regular for Buffalo of Luukkonen, and a Sizzle of Makar for the Avs. We got a Sizzle Sparkle of McDavid for the Oilers, canvas of Sanderson for Ottawa, and a compositions for L.A. Kopitar. We got an Outburst Silver of Krebs for Buffalo. We got a tracking system for Florida of Bobrovsky and a Cup Quest of Shesterkin for the Rangers. We've got a canvas for Utah of Keller, Young Guns of Frank for Washington, and a portrait of Makar for Colorado. Encore of Kreider for the Rangers. We got a Bustle of Stankoven for Carolina. And a Young Guns for Oilers of Hudson. Tell Eric you say hi.
Hi.
He says hello. We got an Encore of Zari for Calgary. We got a Cup Quest Sparkle of Carlson for Pittsburgh. And a Compadres of Tampa Bay. Compadres. All right. We've got a Sizzle of Bouchard for the Oilers, Young Guns of Duke for Tampa. Goal-oriented for the Rangers of Panarin. Do I think the Jays will win tonight? I think they will. Dazzlers for Winnipeg of Kyle Connor. Canvas for Florida of Reinhart. Compositions of Larkin for the Red Wings. We've got an encore of Morrissey for the Jets. A bustle of Matthew Nyes for the Leafs. And a Young Guns of Cagnoni for the Sharks. We've got a portrait of Eklund for the Sharks. We got a Jake Ottinger tracking systems for Dallas. Cup Quest, Cal Connor for the Jets. We got a canvas for the Maple Leafs, Joseph Wool. Portrait of Sider for the Red Wings. And a Callahan Young Guns for Boston. Floor, what's your guess for tonight for the game? That was a red parallel, yes, for the portraits. We've got a Young Guns clear cut for the Boston Bruins of Callahan. Boston Bruins. Encore Stutzel for Ottawa and a sizzle of McCann for Seattle. We got a bustle of Kadri for the Calgary Flames. Compositions for Minnesota of Rossi. And a Young Guns of Melanson for Seattle. Seattle. We've got a Sparkle tracking systems of Dostal for the Ducks. Canvas of Zari for Calgary. Goal-oriented for Ottawa of Brady Tkachuk. Encore, Carlson for Pittsburgh. Sizzle of Luukkonen for Buffalo. And another Young Guns checklist. So that is 2 Young Gun checklists. So that's good. That means you can probably not have to do a random. I don't think we'll get 3, but you never know. We've got a Outburst Silver checklist that'll be a random between the Avalanche and the Panthers. McKinnon and Tkachuk. We got a tracking systems of Saros for the Preds and a portrait of Bedard for Chicago. We've got a canvas of Tkachuk for Ottawa, Young Guns of Osland for Buffalo, and a McDavid compositions for the Oilers. Encore of Wolf for Calgary, goal-oriented Sparkle of Bratt for the Devils, and a bustle for the Anaheim Ducks of Leo Carlson. Leo! We've got a sizzle of Luke Hughes for the Devils. The Young Guns of Shine for the Red Wings. Shine. Compositions of Hughes for the Canucks. We got a Dazzlers of Makar for the Avs. Canvas of Terry for the Ducks. Goal-oriented for the Panthers of Sam Reinhart. We've got an encore of Ostlund for Buffalo. Sizzle of Ovechkin for the Caps. Suzuki Young Guns for Carolina. We've got a deluxe number to 250 of Bobby McMahon for the Maple Leafs. We got a tracking systems of Dostal for the Ducks and a portrait of Leon Draisaitl for the Oilers. Young Guns canvas for the Islanders, Skarek. Young Guns of Rodriguez Well, it's U-E. There's no S, so it's Rodrigue. Maybe. And a compositions of Barzal for the Islanders. We got a black and white canvas for the Golden Knights of Alex Pietrangelo. Encore of Thomas for the Blues. And a bustle of Gensel for the Penguins or Tampa. We got a tracking systems of Sorokin for the Islanders. Young Guns for Washington of Ryan Leonard. And a Tage Thompson Cup Quest for the Buffalo Sabres. We got a Sizzle Real Sparkle Makar for the Avs. A Colton Canvas for the Avs. And a Portraits of Quinn Hughes for Vancouver. Encore of Reinhardt for Florida. Compadres for the Maple Leafs. And a Young Guns of Wood for the Preds. We've got a Outburst Silver of Lyubushkin for Dallas. Ilya Lyubushkin. We got a Sizzle of Lehkonen for the Avalanche. And a goal-oriented of Kaprizov for Minnesota. We got a canvas of Stamkos for Nashville. Young Guns of Ford for the Winnipeg Jets. Compositions of David Pastrnak for Boston. Lupul Island, yeah. Encore of Malkin for the Penguins. Portrait Sparkle of Olmark for Ottawa. And a Kachuk Sizzle Reel for Florida. Sizzle, sizzle. That's the good stuff.
Rip that right off.
All right, compositions of Jack Hughes for the Devils, Suzuki Montreal, Ovechkin Sparkle for the Caps, Forsberg Preds, Hudson Montreal, Kyle Connor for the Jets, Thomas for the Blues, Monahan Sparkle for the Jackets, Gensel for the Tampa Bay Lightning, Makar for the Avs, Kachuk for the Panthers, Carlson for the Penguins, Beniers for Seattle, Crosby Penguins, Darlene Buffalo, Bedard Chicago, Matthews Leafs, Robertson for Dallas. Encores of Bratt for the Devils, Aho Carolina, Kyrou for the Blues, Demko Vancouver, Draisaitl Oilers, Barbashev for Vegas, Perfetti for the Jets, Hyman Oilers, Olmark Sens, Hedman Tampa, Dvorsky for the Blues, Kemmel for the Preds, Heiskanen for Dallas, Raymond Red Wings, Dunn for Seattle, Celebrini for the Sharks, Gauthier for the Anaheim Ducks, Batherson for Ottawa, Faber for Minnesota, Heischer for the Devils, Hughes for Canucks, Gustafson Minnesota, Urson Philly, Byfield LA, Sorokin Islanders, Marchesso Nashville, Snuggerud for the Blues, Blues of Riley for the Leafs, and Blackwood for the Avalanche. Compadres, Washington, Nashville, New Jersey, Carolina, Sparkle Rangers, Winnipeg, Avalanche, Vegas, Montreal. Goal-oriented, Kucherov, I'll say the names, Caulfield, Nylander, Point, Marchenko, Stamkos, Ovechkin, McDavid, Crosby, McKinnon, Sparkle, Pedersen, and Draisaitl. Bustles of Evander Kane, Marchesso, Tuck, Bertuzzi, Tippett, Boldy, Hudson, Sider, Holloway, Jarvis, Bratt, Sparkle Stankoven, Sparkle Gensel. Tracking systems of Joseph Wool, Sparkle Demko, Shesterkin, Hellebuck, Montembeau, Decord, Binnington, Skinner, Talbot, Wolf, Grubauer, Askarov, Thompson, Sparkle Sorokin, Kochetkov, Olmark, Merzlikins, Gustafson, Lindgren, Markstrom, Vasilevsky, Sparkle Bobrovsky, and a red for the Red Wings of Cam Talbot. We've got a portrait. Zuccarello, Dvorsky, Ovechkin, Werenski, Oslin, Thomas, or Thompson, Clark, Johnston, Line, Malkin, Wood, Hamilton, Hagel, Holloway, Levshunov, Perreault, Fox, Jarvis, Austin Matthews. Sizzle reels of Crosby, Tippett, Reinhart, Pasternak, Kachuk, Markstrom, McKinnon, Quinn Hughes, Fowler, Kadri, Perfetti, McTavish, Bobrovsky, Matthews, Marshment, Evangelista, Leo Carlson, Joshua, and a Sparkle Ovechkin. Cup Quest, DeBrincat, Kaprizov, McCann, Kreider, Hellebuck, Kempe, Demko, Nietzsche, Robertson, Meyer, Yossi, Eklund, Marner, and a Sparkle Eklund. All right, Dazzlers of Lafreniere, Draisaitl, Kaprizov, Werenski, Fox, Hudson, Ryan Leonard, pink of Reinhart, and a pink of Owen Tippett. Canvas of Shesterkin, Huberdeau, Kucherov, Smith, Voronkov, Raymond, Barkov, Makar, Barzal, Perfetti, Slavin, Dylan Cousins, Tippett, Kemper, Zellweger, Doughty, Keandre Miller, Duclair, Demko, Couturier, Petrangelo, Harley, Verhaeghe, Holloway, black and white variants, Sean Couturier for Philly, and a Demko for Vancouver. All right. Compositions of Keller Sparkle, Utah. These are all Young Guns. Okay, so we'll do the Young Guns now. For Tampa of Finley, Moore for Anaheim, Oslin for Buffalo. We've got a Renzel, Young Guns for Chicago. We got a Dorwart for Philly. A Gotcher, Young Guns for Philly. Perreault for the Rangers. Frank for the Capitals. Pettersson, not number 40 Pettersson, for Vancouver. Shine for the Red Wings. Robidas for Carolina. Gotcher for Philly. Osman for the Seattle Kraken. Nyman for Seattle. Perreault for the Rangers. Coco for Seattle. Is it really Coco? Duran for Boston. Wash for Anaheim. Callahan for Boston. Coco for Seattle. Morton for Calgary. Moore for Chicago. Snuggerud for the Blues. Duran for Boston. Kirby Doc for Chicago. Perek for Calgary. Skarek for the Islanders. Wash for Anaheim. Moore for Anaheim. Ford for Winnipeg. Sillinger for the Jackets. Lund for the Sharks. Koivunen for the Penguins. Snuggerud for the Blues. Weisblatt for Nashville. Robertson for the Rangers. Robidas for Carolina. Doc for Chicago. Tolopilo for Vancouver. Dvorsky for the Blues. Pettersson for Vancouver. Brindamore for Carolina. He failed on the two Demidovs. Young Guns canvas of Renzel for Chicago. We got a Young Guns canvas of Coco for Seattle. We got a Young Guns canvas of Melanson for Seattle. Holy Seattle. We got a canvas checklist of Dvorsky and Perek, so that'll be a rando between the Blues and Calgary. We got a black and white canvas variant, Young Guns canvas variant of Kemmel for the Preds. Black and white. Outburst silver of Michelli for Utah. Outburst silver of Bobby Brink for Philly. Outburst Silver of McNabb for Vegas. Outburst Silver for Pittsburgh of Lizotte. Outburst Silver, Austin Matthews for the Leafs. We got a silver of Fowler for Buffalo. We got number to 100 exclusive of Braden Point for Tampa. We got a clear-cut base of Sherwood for Vancouver. We've got a clear-cut of Werenski for the Blue Jackets. We got a Young Guns Outburst Silver Patterson for Vancouver. Patterson. Ooh, a Young Guns Outburst Red, number to 25, Nyman for Seattle. Nyman. Seattle. Population count 25, Lev Shunov for Chicago. Man, we're killing this case. Population count 25. And we've got a deluxe Young Guns numbered to 250, Dvorsky. St. Louis Blues. All right, I got the left and the right to do, so give me 1 second. Three times, here we go. 1, 2, 3. The left side, get them all.